Hey, it's Rachel here. Welcome to week 5 of the Active Body and Mind program. How are you all feeling? You've been taking the action now for 5 weeks. I'd love to hear how you've been progressing. Today we're going to see what it's going to be like to stress less and how this is going to improve not only your overall health and well-being, but the results that you're getting in different areas of your life. Denze Pace said that stress is the trash of modern day life. We all generate it, yet if we don't dispel of it properly, it'll pile up and take over our lives. And that's literally what's going on inside each of us, each and every day. Stress we experience from many different areas, and our body responds to it all in the same way. It accumulates one on top of the other, and the end result is an increase of cortisol, the stress hormones in our body, and putting our bodies into overdrive. We literally send our bodies into fight or flight. It's similar to an attack on a Navy ship, where it's all hands on deck. Anything other than essential functions are ceased, as men and women are there prepared to fight off the attack. Our bodies respond in the same way. As the stress increases and it gets to chronic levels, cortisol is released in really high quantities. The result is fight or flight, and our body responds by channeling everything towards our muscles. The blood flows change, and as our bodies literally get ready to fight harder or to flee. The end result is that the blood is shunted away from our essential organs to our muscles. Over time, this leads to weakening of our systems, increased susceptibility to illness, increased susceptibility to pain, impairs our metabolism process, and affects our overall health and well-being. Today we're going to be focusing not only on how it is we can improve the way we respond to stress, but to understand how it is that our thoughts, our emotions, our physiology, and our behaviour are all interlinked, to see how it is that we can create change within the way that we respond, react to any situation, and as a result, the way in which our body resolves to stress. To see how the way in which we can change can happen in an instant. When we can change the way in which we respond to stress, what we'll be doing is increasing the energy. A key sign that your body is in overdrive or highly stressed is chronic fatigue. Yet when you change the way in which you respond to stress, you'll notice the increase in energy that you're experiencing as and when you want it to be. I'm wondering if you'll also notice how it is that improving the way in which you respond, the way in which you manage stress, is going to improve not only your health and well-being, but the health and well-being of those around you. It's been said that we don't see the world the way it is, we see the world the way we are. It's also been said that we attract into our lives what it is that we experience. So the more stress that you're currently experiencing, the more that that's the focus, the more you'll notice that that's what you're attracting into your life. Peter McWilliams said that our thoughts create our reality, and we tend to get what it is we focus on. So we're going to be learning today how it is we can reshift our focus and start focusing on what we do want, changing the way we think, getting positive thoughts and responses so that we can increase our options and the way in which we can see we can choose to respond to stress in any given moment, with anyone, anytime. So it's been said that by the Harvard University that 90% of all illness and disease today can be attributable to stress. It's that the cause of all major illnesses, including cancer and heart disease. Now, many of you know how cancer and heart disease has had a personal impact on me in the last 12 months. Losing both my mum and then my father-in-law to cancer and heart disease within the space of a week. So I am passionate about what we can do to change the way that we respond to stress, to improve our health and well-being today, and to ward off any lifestyle diseases in the future. So let's have a look at what it is we're talking about. What are the types of stress that we experience on a day-to-day basis? As I said earlier, we encounter stress from many different aspects within our lives. Some of the examples and ways in which we encounter stress are through our emotions, through mental stress, through nutrition, through chemical stress, electromagnetic, such as exposure to radiation through constant access and exposure to phones, computers, etc. Too much or not enough exercise, pain, poor posture, and finally shallow or poor breathing. So all of these are different types of stress which our body experiences on a day-to-day basis. The body doesn't recognise the different types of stress, and each has an accumulative effect. The end result can often be putting ourselves above that threshold of stress. One of the key strategies to change the way in which we respond to stress is by changing the way we think, our thought processes, shifting from negative thinking to situations to how it is we can respond more positively. Now, we've all heard the benefits of positive thinking, yet how easy is it, do you think, to just switch the way you think? To change the way that we think and how this is going to improve our overall health and well-being. The founders of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, assisted us to discover how it is that we think so that we can see what we can do to change the way we think to improve our overall health and well-being. John Grinder and Richard Bandler are the founders of NLP, and they discovered this or created this fantastic approach to change in the 1970s. They studied the top psychotherapists of the time and found what it was that they were doing that was most successful in working with their clients, and noticed how easy it was for many of these psychotherapists to assist their clients to create change easily and effortlessly in their lives. They pulled this together into what we now know of today as NLP. And this is going to be the specific area that we're going to be looking at today in terms of how we can utilise the strategies from NLP to assist us to change the way we think easily and effortlessly. We're also going to have a look at some of the key stress busters as recommended by Paul Chek, who is the founder of the Chek Institute, a leading institute based in the United States that works with holistic lifestyle and people working in the fitness industry right around the world. Paul has dedicated much of his work to finding ways in which we can reduce stress in our everyday lives, and we'll be building on his strategies in this discussion today. So let's have a play. Let's have a look at how it is that we can change the way that we think. We're going to start by looking at how it is that we process information on a day-to-day basis. I'm not sure whether you're aware of just how much information that we're actually exposed to. The latest research from the University of Sydney tells us that we're exposed to some 20 million bits of information every second. Can you imagine? Every second, 20 million bits of information coming at us from all different directions. So let's imagine we've got our 20 million bits of information coming in. It comes in through our five senses, through our visual, auditory, kinesthetic, which is touch, olfactory, our smell, and our gustatory. Comes in through our five senses. We then just simply cannot process that much information. So we delete, distort, and generalize through our five senses to make sense of the information coming into us. Yet what we don't know is whether the information we're filtering in is the information that's going to have the greatest impact for us, or whether we're actually letting in information that's holding us back. So getting an understanding of this thought process is going to assist us to see what and how we can change the way in which we take information in and process that information. It then goes through 7 filters which are in our unconscious mind. These filters are time, space, matter, energy, which is essentially our environment, language. It's been said that if we can't language what we want, we can't have it, so this is a really key filter. Our values and beliefs. These are those that we hold dear to us, and it's part of our identity, who we see ourselves as being. Next, we have our decisions that we've made in our life, our attitudes. For example, whether you're someone who likes to stay within your comfort zone, or whether you're someone who likes to give it a go. Those are examples of different attitudes. Then we have our memories. so what it is that we remember from our past and what we make those memories mean to us. And finally, meta programs. And these are large unconscious ways in which we think, such as extrovert and introvert. There are a number of these meta programs which we're not actually going to go in today, yet it's useful to know that these also form part of the overall filters. So once the information goes through the filters, we then end up with about 134 bits of information, or 7 plus or minus 2 chunks. So this is then the information that we can then actually process. It then forms what's called an internal representation, which is like an image that we create in our mind. This internal representation can be either negative or positive, and depending on what this internal representation is, will determine what our state or our emotions are, whether we experience positive or negative emotions, and finally our physiology, the way in which our body responds, and then our behaviour. So you can see as we go through this whole process that the very last thing that happens is our behaviour. So you may have wondered in the past why it is that it's been so challenging to change your behaviours or your habits. You can now see all of the steps that go on way before we even get to behaviour. So if you want to change your behaviour in a way that's easy and effortless, then look at how it is we can change the way that we process information, our thought processes, to then change the behaviour. Let's have a look at how this works in practice. So when it comes to your internal representation, your emotions, and your physiology, we can change any one of these and it will change our behaviour, the overall outcome. So let's take, for example, stress. So if we want to change the way that we respond to situations and we want to decrease the stress we're experiencing, we can change our internal representation, our state, and or our physiology. So let's have a bit of a play. Firstly, let's have a look at how we can switch the way we think about certain situations. Let's start with thinking about how you might feel on a really tiring day. You've come home from work and you're just feeling really exhausted. And just notice as you think of that time how it is that you hold your body, where it is that you're looking, and just notice how you're feeling inside. It's not very motivating, is it? Alright, shake that off. We don't want to be feeling that. So now what I want you to do is I want you to think about a day you've come home, you've had a fantastic day, you're full of energy, you're full of life, you're ready and raring to go. And I want you to notice how it is that you hold your body, where it is that you're focusing your eyes, and how you're feeling in your body. Feels a lot more motivating, doesn't it? So we can see just by that shift in our physiology that it also changes the way that we're thinking and we're feeling. So when you're in that position and you're feeling really tired and run down, you can always ask yourself the question, is this the way I want to be feeling right now? If it isn't, if you want to get up and go, then you can simply change your physiology, look up, and notice the way and how easy it is to shift your thinking. Alright, let's have another go. So one of the other strategies to really assist in terms of shifting your physiology and also releasing any built-up stress is through what's called diaphragmatic breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing is where we breathe from our diaphragm. One of the causes of stress, as we mentioned earlier, is shallow or poor breathing. Through diaphragmatic breathing, you're ensuring that you're taking deep breaths in and out, breathing. So we've just experienced an example of stress. The camera overheated in the heat, and so we've had to move inside. We've had to change our environment so that I could actually reduce the temperature of the phone so we could keep filming this video. And that is a really good example of how it is that different appliances and our own bodies respond to stress. It's like we're overheating, we're overburdening, and we need to change the environment, change the reaction to be able to keep functioning at our optimal level. Alright, so where we got up to is diaphragmatic breathing. So we're going to be breathing from our diaphragm. To do that, we need to be sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back, deep breath in, breathing in from your stomach. So when you're breathing from your stomach, you want to blow your stomach out. So if you've got your hand down there now, that's a great start. So you're going to breathe in through your nose, and as you're breathing in, you'll feel your stomach blowing out. So breathing in through your nose, and out. So when you're breathing in and out, you're expelling all of the air out. So you can do some diaphragmatic breathing a number of times a day, say 10 times each go, and that's going to be a really great way of increasing the oxygen flow of your body, ensuring that you're releasing your toxins, getting rid of any built-up stress, and you're also going to be assisting yourself to change your physiology, to change your state and reduce the impact of stress. So there you go, that's a couple of strategies for you to have a go with this week. We're going to be talking about this some more in our group discussion this week because this is such an important topic for us to explore. It has a major impact on not only your ability to achieve your body and your health transformation goals, it also has a dramatic impact on your overall quality of life and well-being. So I'm going to share with you now the 6 steps as identified by Paul Chek as part of his response to stress management and looking at how we can reduce all of the different types of stress in our life. So firstly, we've got positive thinking. We've already had a bit of a play with that today, and as I said, we're going to be discussing it further in our group coaching session this week. The second is diaphragmatic breathing, which we've also had a bit of a play with. The third is keeping hydrated, making sure you're having plenty of water. The fourth is eating a wide range of nutritious foods, where possible ensuring these foods are free of chemicals and are preservative free. Fifthly, ensuring that you're exercising correctly. So ensuring you're getting the right type of exercise at the right time and you're utilising the correct technique rather than putting your body into stress. And finally, ensuring that you get adequate sleep. So working out what that is for you, roughly it's anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a night. So there you have it. There are some strategies which you can implement this week to ensure that you're improving your overall health and well-being, taking action to reduce the impact that stress is having in your life right now. This has been Rachel. This is week 5 of the Active Body and Mind program. Look forward to chatting to you soon.